We have an update to some breaking news we first brought to you on WGEM.com. Fire investigators are looking into what caused a house fire today that led to an explosion just south of Palmyra. The Hannibal Fire Department and Palmyra Fire Department responded to the County Road 288 home around noon after one of the residents smelled smoke. Palmyra Fire Chief Gary Crane says there was an explosion shortly before they arrived, and they saw flames coming from the windows upon arrival. The roof started to collapse around 1 o'clock this afternoon, and one side of the home collapsed about 20 minutes later. Crane says it's risky for firefighters to enter collapsed homes.
You risk a lot to save a lot, and there was just, you don't take that chance. I mean, when a guy went in there and you taking out a door frame, that could have come down on you. When the house gets bowed out like it does, you've loosened the whole house. It just barely stands. Especially when you blow the brick off two sides of the house, it's a pretty good explosion.
Palmyra firefighters were still on the scene as of about 3:15 this afternoon, putting out hot spots and investigating a possible cause. Crane says the cause of that explosion is currently unknown, but he does say it may have been from propane. He says the man and woman who occupied the home made it out safely, and the American Red Cross is assisting the residents.